my downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love, you say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
Lots of love, love. Lots of love, love. Got lots of love, love.
Welcome back. It's a brand new season of CGL.
This is just an absolute treat. These players are so damn good.
The talent on these teams is undeniable. Everybody on every team right now is making plays.
It's going to be an exciting start to the season, and it'll just get better from here on out.
We're about to step to a whole new era of Overwatch esports. So much exciting action is happening here on CGL that you do not want to miss.
Look who's starting it all off, it's Raven. No one necessarily figure out what is the right way to go just yet.
What a nice roll through one thing. It's just gonna solidify everything within those.
Does come back, and Arsario gets the mech, but I don't need a mech. I'll kill 4 anyway.
This is just a highlight reel for Arsario right now.
They're making a statement in the EU Masters here.
This patch is still incredibly fresh. There's so much to learn, so much to change about the way we play the game.
NKC, but the shatter is colossal.
Let's get it going.
Trades keep coming through. Lores, you're gonna be able to find these shots true.
Idu on the overclock with 2.
Here comes an athlete immediately to the back, like fine skills, slicing and dicing their way through 2-3, so back and forth.
Good evening, one and all. It is time for a CGL Sunday Night Showdown. It's a North American Diamond Tier match between Memoris Esports, Abyssal, and Cuddle Puddle. I'm HD Philly B, and joining me today's player extraordinaire, it's Verts. My friend, how you feeling?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very glad to be on this this casting with you. I'm feeling great. This is going to be a very good matchup between very good teams. We've got the 4 seed in Cuddle Puddle up against the 5 seed in Abyssal, and there's some decent playoff implications. If you're an Abyssal fan, all you got to do is win to either take the 4 seed or secure the 5, depending on the map differential. If you're a Cuddle Puddle fan, all you got to do is win to keep the 4 seed, and that's all you got to do. So a win here guarantees a shift depending on who it is. So if you're a Death Blossoms fan and you want to keep the 3 seed, you need Abyssal to either win tonight or take at least one map. So very excited game. I'm very happy to be here. It's going to be a good game.
Absolutely. And folks, this is week 8, the final week of our regular season. So everything on the line for that prize pool money. That's what these players have been working for all of these months. So just like you said, Vert, they got to win. I mean, that winning always helps, however you slice it, right? But sometimes that map differential can be good as well. So maybe a 3-0 would be the most beneficial. But like you said, some great members on either of these squads. I mean, on Abyssal, we have Mataneva. He's the captain. He's our beloved caster friend, right? He's going to be on the support role. We have the likes of, Red Death and Zoe, things of like that nature. And then in Cuddle Puddle, I know you were saying the first match that I casted in CGL this season was your team versus Cuddle Puddle, and they have some great teammates on there like Execute, Pizza Bot, and Battle Josh.
Yeah, and Cuddle Puddle, I mean, I cannot speak high enough praise about the tank for Cuddle Puddle and Brook and the Genji extraordinaire Geo. I mean, when we played them, not only in the first week, but in mid-season finals, they were just constantly a pain in our butt, in our backline. So we were just like, always like, that'll be a fun matchup to look out for tonight. How can the backline do against the likes of Brook and Geo? But, you were talking about lineups. Why don't we take a look at our lineups? Either about who's starting as we get closer to the map here. We were doing maps first. I just got NA Prod. Yeah, NA Prod. I'm rusty. It's been a couple of weeks,
All good, friend. Yeah, we do the rosters after the bans because people can switch who they have in now, right? But yes, here are our map selections for this evening. Busan will be our control. Blizzard World, Runasapi, Saravasa, Watchpoint, Gibraltar, and then a mysterious map 6 should we need it. My friend, any map in particular stick out to you?
I think Busan's going to be a very telling map because Abyssal loves the Queen Rush. Cuddle Puddle known for their dive. I think this is a pretty even map pool in terms of dive and rush. Runasapi is a really wild card map. We see a lot of teams run a lot of different things in there. So, I don't know. We're going to see which team can kind of force their compositions to work the most, I guess. Busan has a bit of dive, but it's mainly brawl. Blizzard World is definitely dive. So, I don't know. We'll have to see as we get in here.
Absolutely a back and forth affair. Probably might go the distance, all 5 maps. And here we are, my favorite part of it all, the ban screen. I don't know if you've been watching the Sunday night streams, but Shadow, he has been timeless on these, getting prediction after prediction. Vert, I'm going to test you and see if you can do the same. Who you liking here as the first ban?
Well, I'm no Shadow, but if I was Abyssal and I was looking to ban Cuddle Puddle, hopefully if I did my homework, I would look to ban some sort of maybe even Hazard here. Cuddle Puddle consistently always plays Hazard. Not as good now, but you could also look to ban some sort of dive character like Andoro. He loves their Sombra. Genji, obviously for Geo, but do you want to ban that? Oh, I was totally wrong. It's Ramatra, but that makes a lot of sense as well because Brook does love the Ramatra.
And I think Ramatra definitely one of the strongest tanks right now. Just their perks are really good. You can't go wrong with either of them. It's that true tempo tank is really shining right now. So I think just taking just a strong pick off the board kind of helps in either regard. Let's see how Cuddle Puddle responds here in the banning phase. They got to go for either a damage or support. And folks, as a reminder, a team can only ban a hero once per series, right? So Abyssal bans Ramatra. They cannot ban the Ramatra again. They have to pick something else next time. and heroes cannot ban from the same role. You're right, got to ban for a different role. So with 15 seconds remaining, Vert, who do you got?
I have no clue. Probably a support. I don't know. Maybe you look to that. Okay, yes. I was actually going to suggest the Kiriko because Mott, we talk about them a lot. Great support player for this tier. They love the Kiriko. That's definitely one of their best. So, you look to get rid of those antis. Maybe even if the Ramatra as a comfort pick is gone, those antis will stay now. They cannot be cleansed. That'll definitely help depending on what comp they choose to run. We could theory craft, but we'll only know once we're in, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to pick the lineup first, though, my friend.
Yes. Maybe that'll give us a better tell. We've got Red Death Zachary K at the damage, and then we've got Zoe on tank, who's always been great on tank all season, as well as Mont and Bean on the support line.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know how effective Mataneva can be. I know they love the Ana just as much as they love the Kiriko, so let's see if they can get some things done with it. I hope we see Zoe on the Wrecking Ball. I mean, Wrecking Ball, one of my favorite characters, but she says that their favorite character is Sigma in terms of the tank role, so maybe we might see that one pop out. And then we head over to the side of Cuddle Puddle. Let's see what they got.
This is standard as long as I've played Cuddle. You've got the great DPS line in Geo and Andoru, as well as Brook on the tank, and I was talking about him just a minute ago. Great tank. As well as the support line executing and Battle Joss. Very, very good players. Like I said, Geo, he is a menace on that Genji. It's his portrait for a reason. He just does things. He does scary things.
Yeah, I mean, just with all the buffs that have come out for Genji over the last couple of patches, I know that he's a lethal character in his own right, always has been, but someone who can really pilot him to great effect can truly be a detriment to the other side because you have to dump so many resources to bring him out, and then you have nothing left for the rest of the team that's running right at you. So we'll see if they have some way to check Geo as we head into Busan.
And I was kind of mentioning it, before we got started. Busan's one of the more interesting maps because you can run just about anything here in terms of this opening stage. You can run the brawl, you can run the dive, but this map right here is going to tell a lot because this is the most dive-esque map, and it looks like my prediction for Amy Abyssal running the brawl is completely wrong. We're gonna see the Wrecking Ball, and that's what she wanted, Philly. So sometimes wishes do come true.
I'm rubbing my hands together like that meme, just waiting for this one. And Red Death being able to play the Widowmaker, I know that's one of their favorite characters, and on this map of Busan, obviously some great perch points for the Widowmaker. They have the mythic weapon as well as the skin, so they better show up and show out on this one. But yeah, that dive combination with King and Zoe can really get a lot done. Brook on the Winston, though, he's going to be putting some hurting on Red Death.
Yeah, I think I'm not loving the Widow pick. It only works if you really hit shots. There's not a lot of follow up for Zoe here in terms of look at the Cuddle Puddle. They've got Genji, they've got Tracer. There's so much follow up and pressure they can put on that side. This puts a lot of pressure on Red Death to just hit his shots.
Ooh, and Andaru finds him out and takes him down, and now the dominoes go tumbling. Geo finds his opposite number, and off that fight, they're able to cap the point first.
Yes, and the reason I said this map would be very telling here is because we're seeing kind of two polar opposite compositions. Cuddle wants to wait, get cooldowns out, and then go in on a full dive together as a 3 with Geo, Tracer, and Brook. Whereas, okay, now we're seeing the Venture Ash swap, which I guess adds a little more mobility, but you're still putting a lot of pressure on your Ball and Venture to succeed by themselves. And 3v2, it's a lot better.
Yeah, that's going to be rough. We'll see, especially because the backline maybe it's just a little bit vulnerable. As you can see, Monteneva on the Juno kind of under duress there. The Pulse Pistol's just doing so much work, and there's the cleanup you were talking about, friend. One goes down, but King able to switch up and get one on the opposite end, but Brook just a menace, a triple kill for the Scientist. Venture, though, still the Archaeologist working their way around. The Pulse Pistols do find him. A flip comes through, though, Vert, for the side of Abyssal. Doesn't hold on there for long, though, as Cuddle Puddle will reclaim.
I'm not so sure Cuddle Puddle's going to be able to reclaim this. I think Abyssal going to win this fight.
Okay, here we go. It does go back to Cuddle Puddle. Just Zoe on the wrecking ball there drops the mines. The little extra damage there. Can they knock a couple people into it? So close. The big body of the Winston though able to keep his support alive, but not for long. Battle Joss does go down. The burrow strike takes him. Andaru not wary to the danger behind him, and Geo is just slicing. Folks, this is just mayhem all over the map. That's what we know and love about Control.
Yes, and this is going to be a little bit scattered here. They're going to commit with Nano here. I don't even... This is just... this is scattered all over the place. We're seeing the tale of two comps right now. I mean, it looks like Cuddle's going to clean this up. They had to commit a couple ultimates. That's fine. You get more ult progress. Abyssal flipped it again? Oh my goodness, that can't happen. But King just, really opened that fight up. He killed like 3 by himself. Cuddle Puddle's going to be a little bit behind on ults here. But like I said, the frontline pressure that Cuddle provides versus the follow-up that Abyssal doesn't have is really going to put a lot of pressure on King and Zoe to continue just popping off like we saw them do.
And they might go for just a straight-up ultimate dump here. Geo, though, decides to initiate. He is hacking and slashing with the blade. He finds 2. He just cuts through everybody. King doing his dangest to try to stave off this cybernetic ninja, but he can't do it. He's able to get out of dodge there and still Cuddle Puddle hold. They only expend 1 ultimate to do so.
Yeah, that's true. And they're going to come up to a rally here. Abyssal, if they're going to win a fight, this is going to be their best chance. They've got the Juno. They've got the Bob, they've got the Tectonic Plate, and we're going to go in here with Juno now.
Okay, the Orbital Array has been expended. It's still such a powerful ultimate. You can see Monteneva leading the charge to tumble down for the side of Cuddle Puddle. They are crying back in the Stamon room doors, just battered into the wall. Here is Brooke, the scientist, and it is overtime. Wick burns. The cap comes through for Abyssal. They have a lifeline here still.
Yes, and if you're Cuddle Puddle, you're okay with that fight. You got Juno out. That's one of the best ults in this game. Now you have the rally to respond. You've got the Primal Rage coming up, and Enduro with the Pulse. He can hit a clutch one to end this map right here and right now. But if you are Abyssal, you want to go first with your ultimates. You do not want to wait. You want to press the gas pedal right now, and it kind of looks like they're just waiting for the right moment.
Yeah, maybe spotting that rotation to find out where the Bob comes through. And there it is! A huge Pulse Bomb takes out the rally. Bean will not get that ultimate online. A rally could be intimate here for the side of Battle Josh, but not before the Tectonic Shock just makes its way onto the battlefield, crushing into everybody. A Primal Rage, though, from the side of Brook. He is smacking, he is punching his way through the ranks. It is Monteneva gets pounced upon and sent back to the spawn room door. Zoe just trying to find their foothold here in this engagement. Spread some mines just as a parting gift here, but the Tesla Cannon cleans him up. This battle has gone so long that Bean has returned with the rally, and they are getting the troops in order. Still holding the point here is Abyssal, 93%, 94%, but Red Death going down. Bean as well. That is disastrous for them as the overtime wick burns. The point has been flipped. Cuddle Puddle here in full force, just waiting to dismantle the remaining members. King doing their best to stay alive, so shifty, but not shifty enough. They go down. It is kill after kill, elimination after elimination. Still, the overtime wick burns. If they are off it for even an instant, it will go down in a blink of an eye, folks, so you cannot look away from your screen for an instant. Still, the reinforcements are coming through, Vert.
I think we're going to clean up here. That was a really scrappy fight, and honestly, if you're Cuddle Puddle, you need to be winning these dive engagements cleaner because Abyssal aren't the most comfortable team on that dive, but I'm going to be honest with you, Philly. I wasn't in love with the backline we were running. We were running a ball with a Juno Brig, and Juno Brig is very brawly. It's not divey, and we're going to see the swaps coming through now. I like this a lot better. They're going to run the full brawl here. I think this is going to do a lot better into Cuddle Puddle, except for this, Mauga. Brooke loves his Mauga. We played against it. I'm curious to see if we keep the same backline. If we do, that's going to make it a little bit harder for the Mauga to succeed. You might want that speed at some point, but there we go. As I say that, putting words right in my mouth. But yeah, so we've got brawl on brawl right now. I think the Mauga is probably going to be a lot better for more sustain, although Zoe's Queen is good, and that's going to be a key matchup to look out for.
That is what they said one of their favorite composition was playing around the queen. So we'll see what they can get done with it. They run in with the carnage and they slash right through Andrew. There was nothing that they could do. There goes the ecologist taking a little bit of a nap there in the cryo freeze, and still Battle Josh, he's getting his name on the board as well, looking for eliminations. But the retaliation from the side of Cuddle Puddle, it was all just a trap there as they come up with a triple kill. They'll be the first onto the point.
Yes, that was a huge play from the side of Execute, just putting out that anti, and this ban from me Abyssal might come back to bite them. Actually, no, I think it was Cuddle Puddle who got rid of the Kiriko, and now we're seeing why with the Ononades and the anti. It's going to be really okay, Brooke. It's going to be really hard for me Abyssal to go in with these Ononades. They're almost 70% already on their ult. They're just pumping in this damage and heals, Philly.
Wow, my goodness. I love the way that they were holding that the choke there as well. Now checking just the back to see if they was making any rotations. Now walled off. It was once again a trap set. There goes the overrun and the slam into the dirt, but it's Battle Josh who gets eliminated first, but just too much damage. It can't be all shielded by the tiny Brigitte shield, and now it's just the kill feed littered in red. Once again, here's Gio in the back line, just being a nuisance, being a pestering fly. Monteneva trying to stave off anything that they can do, but nothing can be done as a fight win here for Cuddle Puddle.
It was a win, and this is what I meant when I said we're going to see more sustain outside of the Malga. Malga just being able to live really long versus the Queen. They don't have the same sustain, but me Abyssal got the late picks later, and that's going to be a big wall.
That blocks off Zoe, now put to sleep as well. The blade was just salt into the wound. A double kill. Can they get a triple? They have one more in their sight, and it's Red Death who's switched over to the Sojourn. Oh my goodness. Gio cannot be stopped.
He can't, and this is going to be this is a winnable fight for me Abyssal, but they need to go quick. They need to not wait. However, Cuddle Puddle, they've got the Mei, they've got the Malga. This is going to be really hard to get past. They're going to have to look to go quick, but Cuddle Puddle, they might just do it here first. They might just go ahead and go in, Philly.
Yeah, they have maybe use the tectonic shock to create some space and then get everybody else's ultimate online and then just ult them, because you got to flip the point now or the map will go the way of Cuddle Puddle. They spot the rotation though here, and they put in the wall to block off as well as the cage fight. There's nothing that they can do. It's blocking at the tectonic shock. Poor King, he just drill dashes in to try to get something, but he goes right to the waiting jaws. Nobody can touch, and Cuddle Puddle nicely takes map number 1.
Yes, and that is kind of what I meant by, I assumed that Cuddle was going to look to go quick and ult almost in their spawn, but they made the heads-up play of being patient and understanding they didn't need to necessarily win that fight right away. It was 87. Let me Abyssal come to us, and then we'll ult them at the doors, essentially. So that was a really good heads-up play from them. What we need to see more out of me Abyssal going into the second map is just a quicker tempo. Like, around 1, it was 95 to 99. You were kind of up in ults, but you didn't ult quick enough, and because of that, you let Cuddle Puddle get back into the fight and build their ultimates. So I'm very curious to see what bans we're going to get on Blizzard World and how they're going to make that adjustment. But on Brawl, Cuddle Puddle looked 10 times better. I mean, it was 99 to 0. But on that dive, it was a little closer than I was anticipating, so that might be something to look out for as we go into map number 2.
Absolutely, and dive, definitely one of the more difficult compositions to execute. You really have, your communications have to be perfect, your ability usage has to be on point for it to really shine through. But you're absolutely right, man. I mean, going into Blizzard World, it's a really dive-heavy map, right? So maybe they still elect to go for it, at least for first point, see what they do with it. If not, then change from there. But Cuddle Puddle looking really good so far through map number 1.
Yes, and the sustain from the Malga just really enabled, and Brooke is a really good Malga player. I assume they've practiced it, but every time he would go in with Slam, there'd be some sort of anti coming out from the side of Execute, and it was just like, chef's kiss, the timing wise. And so, those are the kinds of things that, there's been talks about it in the diamond tier of like the top 4, currently being Solar, Lunar, Death Blossoms, and Cuddle currently, unless me Abyssal wins today. But those are the kinds of things that you see out of these like top 4 teams. Like, you have a quicker tempo, you ult first, and you're doing those kinds of things. And I feel like me Abyssal, mechanics wise, they have the talent. They just need to know their win cons, and they need to know when to go now and just not hesitate. I saw a lot of hesitation on that dive comp on round 1. I saw even more hesitation on round 2. Maybe they just needed to get right map. Take a second, reset, cool your nerves, and get ready to come back even stronger for Blizzard World.
Yeah, because they know this is a big match, right? It's week 8 of the CGL season 15. This could be your do or die moment to get the right seed moving into the tournament, so you have a favorable matchup. But I agree, they need to initiate more. You have to take your opponent with the element of surprise sometimes. Like, just push the ultimate because they're like, oh wait, they're using rally right now. Oh crap, and then they get confused, and you might be able to find a pick off of it. So I agree. Let's see if they adjust in that as we have this little break in between the two maps, get those communications online, and move forward. So I'm excited to head into the picks and bans.
I am as well, especially because me Abyssal, they're going to get the first ban here, and I think you got to ban the Genji. I think this is probably going to be the best map for the Genji. You could make the argument that Suravasa would be a good ban if you get there. You could make the argument that Renasapi would be, but I think they're going to end up running the Malga on Renasapi. You need to look to probably ban the Genji here, or take some sort of, to take the Tracer away. Make their dive harder and make your dive easier. And I was right. Let's go. I may not be Shadow, but they are going to ban that Genji. And Cuddle Puddle, I mean, how do you respond to that? Like, what are some things that you would notice inside of Cuddle Puddle that if you banned would make it easier for you?
Oh, don't put me in that seat, man. No, just I don't know. I think banning a tank is always a good idea for me. I mean, maybe take the Junker Queen off the board. I necessarily wouldn't think the Wrecking Ball, but okay, there it is. The Wrecking Ball it is. They don't want to see any more of that because maybe it was giving them more problems than we give them credit for. But here we have it. Genji taken out as well as the Wrecking Ball.
So we're seeing 2 dive characters be banned on a dive map. This is going to be very interesting. And to Zoe's credit, they were creating, they may not have been showing up in the kill feed a lot, but they were creating a lot of stall, a lot of misdirection. They were getting people scattered. And so I totally understand, well, if you're going to target ban us, we're going to target ban you. Which I feel like is totally reasonable. So, those bans make sense to me. But we do have some substitutions coming in on the side of Cuddle Puddle, and this might tell us more what they're looking to run. Pizza Bot coming in at tank, and Chris coming in at support. So Battle Josh known as the main support for Cuddle Puddle. This is typically their double flex support lineup, and Pizza Bot known as their diva. If you're gonna run the diva, I feel like you ban the Winston over the Wrecking Ball, but diva into Winston's actually pretty favorable for the diva actually there. So I understand the Wrecking Ball ban now, but we'll have to see how me Abyssal adjusts to these lineup changes. I think that's I'm drawing a blank here now.
All good, my friend. I can pick it up from here. So yeah, maybe Pizza Bot is they're more of their dive tank player, right? Whereas Brooke is more of that brawl player. So that's fine. Go into Blizzard World. You can dive pretty much on all 3 points. So why the heck not? I was looking at the lineup here for Memoris Esports Abyssal, and I was like, okay, well maybe they could sub in a different tank. They do have Zachary K. He joined the team recently and is a tank player. So maybe there's not enough confidence in him yet, but I would say if you banned out the Wrecking Ball, maybe you're looking for a different option, put them in, see what they can do, right? Unfortunately, will not be the case, though, for now. Blizzard World we go.
Blizzard World will go, indeed, as we load in here. Ooh, you called it. We have a substitution for Emmy Abyssal. Bro, you are on fire today. So we'll have to see what kind of tanks they run with Zachary, playing the tank, obviously. I really do much. Maybe it's more of a dive thing. Maybe he plays diva. Zoe a really good tank, but has their limitations, as all good tank players do. Sure. And so it's always good to have other people in to fill in the blanks.
Yeah, you got to be able to switch it up on your opponent, right? If you're giving them one look, how do we give them another? Just to make them their communication. It's all about disrupting those communication lines, right? But now, there we go, finally into the Blizzard World. Folks, we do have some special people to shout out. Headramer is our producer today, and we have Mega Last as our observer. So we thank you both for being available to put on this production, because we can yap all day long, Vert, but without them hitting the ones and twos, there's nothing to show.
there's no ones and twos. There's nothing in this world. So, it's all ones and twos at the end of the day if you think about it. But yeah, no, huge shout out to Headrammer. Huge shout out to Mega. Love, love, love Mega. They actually, I remember the first ever game of mine that was streamed was by Mega. So huge fanboy of Mega over here. But we're going to see Cuddle Puddle on the attack first and then Emmy Abyssal on the defense. And not to say that I'm perfect, but I did guess that they played the Diva. So we're going to see that. But I'm looking at this Ashe and Venture, and this comp makes a lot more sense for this map, in my opinion, Philly. You've got the Ashe to hit the dynamites. You've got the backline to keep each other alive. The antis. You've got Ping to just disrupt. But looking at Cuddle Puddle, do you think they're really going to run this pharmacy here? I mean, I guess so as we come out.
I am here for it. I feel like it's been ages since I've seen the pharmacy online, and already off the high ground, go Abyssal. They could not stay on that for even an instant, and Duru is really low, but that's where the pharmacy does come in. Let's see if any picks come through now as the rockets just being rained upon the heads of Abyssal.
So we're going to have a support trade here, and it looks like Mott's going to be on their own. Never mind, they disengage here, and they live by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, I know Mott, they love the Ana. That's probably their favorite character. So the dive, the peel is there, but onto the point they go. Pizza Box getting desperately low, has to get to the Mega Health back, and they do. That creates enough space, though, as the focus fire for Geo to get that Pulse Rifle off. They take down Red Dead. That's a bulk of the damage gone. Now back onto the dive for Madi. They go. A sleep dart is clean, puts the Pizza Bot to rest. That allows Zachary K now to maybe make and take some space.
Yeah, this is just a resource battle here and like a space battle here that we're seeing. Like both tanks want to essentially trade backlines right now, but with being back, it's going to be a lot harder for PizzaBot to get that. In my opinion, if you're Abyssal, you need to be killing this Juno off cooldown. She's got no protection and nothing. But we got to dive here on the side of Cuddle Puddle right now.
And who are they going to focus fire? It just seems so many juicy targets. The barrage, though, it is online. There are 3 people stacked up there. It looks like it could be the perfect one. Hey, and there it is. Andrew with a direct rocket to Bean's face. And a Diva Bomb on the back end there takes down King. So now the defense finally cracked here. Red Dead is now dead. They are back to the spawn room doors. Or Red Dead. Sorry, I've been playing a lot of Red Dead for the last couple of days. But the cap comes through here for Cuddle Puddle.
Yes, and that was well played by Cuddle Puddle, a perfectly placed bomb that allowed Executy to get the res off, and then, like I said, Andrew with the pocket. When chaos breaks loose and there's less organization, Cuddle Puddle's comp is going to thrive, but when you can play the positioning right and you have time to sit there and think, Emmy Abyssal's comp's going to be a lot better. That's what they want to do with this backline. That's what they want to do with this less spam. And like I said, it's just a resource and space battle, and so far Cuddle's been winning that.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about. They've been taking the aggression. They've been taking the fight to the side of Abyssal. And it seems like when that happens, they don't know how to absorb the damage and then bounce back. They just seem to break underneath it. Right now, they're rotating effectively as a team, but the trades come through because of those rotations. Finally, the Pharah in the sky goes down. We'll be looking for the res, and there it is. Executing that one to perfection. The overclock is online here for the side of Geo. Doesn't even need to use it. He'll win this fight outright in the neutral.
Yes, Cuddle Puddle. We're going to see Bob come out from Red Death here, and I think it's probably going to get destroyed relatively quickly. But Cuddle Puddle just winning, like I said, in the aggression, and they're trading the backlines a lot better, which is surprising. We've got a nano here on the Diva here.
Okay, and we also have an orbital ray that's been just splattered across the point as well, 4 meters from taking it to point number 2. Pizza Box, he's able to dive into the back line and take Red Death down, and a bomb does go flying onto the point. Can they get back in mech in time? They can. The Tectonic Shock, though, is now free. No shield against this one, but King gets dethroned and sent back to the spawn room doors. Zachary K and locked out of mech as well, and it is just a bloodbath here at the end of point number 2. Capped there, though, by Cuddle Puddle.
So I think a big reason why Cuddle Puddle is having the success that they are is, while yes, on paper, their composition should win in the trades in terms of trading the backlines better because you've got the Brig to protect the Ana. They're not, like, Zachary's looking to peel too much. He needs to just go in full send with another person on his dive, which now he can't do anymore because he has a cast and an Ashe. So this is a lot harder for Zach. He's gonna have a lot more to do, but he can't be sitting there twiddling his thumbs, peeling the entire time. He needs to go and, like I said, kill that Juno off cooldown. She's got no protection.
Yeah, especially because Execute, he's kind of in the sky, working with the Pharaoh, then going towards the Diva, so the Juno's just kind of off on their own, lonesome, got to use the boots to move around, and there's Geo coming up with the goods again, opening up the kill feed, and Anduru just, doesn't even matter, he just spray the rockets down the choke, he'll find a kill eventually. Monteneva, though, almost on the brink of death, and there goes Geo, cleans up the kill. Geo, once again, a 2K for the captain.
And I don't even know if they're going to... Well, we do get a touch out somehow. I think it's Zachary on the point. He's going to look to use bomb here, but Enduro with... Oh, he gets clipped by that, actually.
Oh, wow, I didn't even see how that was... I thought he was behind the pillar there, but that gives a little bit of a lifeline for the side of Abyssal. They can stabilize here as they get some exit kills. Hopefully they don't expend anything more. Yeah, that's just PizzaBot just running in to get them demech, and so that way they can retreat off of that. A full reset here now for Cuddle Puddle.
A full reset, yes, but with a crap ton of ults. I'm looking at 4 ultimates that are about to be online for the side of Cuddle Puddle, and I'm looking at none on the side of any Abyssal because they had to use what they had to use to just touch, and we're going to see a Ramatra swap here, which is interesting. We have 2 hit scans, and I get the Pharah is putting a lot of damage in, but if we were killing the Juno a lot easier and trading those backlines better, that would allow PizzaBot to look at the Pharah more effectively. And so we wouldn't need the 2 hit scans, but oh no, that's not good.
Uh-oh, looks like he took an early drink, but Geo taking a nice little off angle here, just putting in the damage once again. But the faces have been turned for the side of Abyssal. They're trying to find out who's getting them in the backline, and it is Geo finally up in his grill. They get, and they take him down. 2 minutes on the clock here for Cuddle Puddle to push it home.
So while I was talking about the many flaws in the composition that Abyssal was running, they had the opportunity to build up ults now, and now we have Cuddle Puddle switching compositions, and they're only left with 2. Orbital Ray, crazy ultimate, and Geo with the railgun. We know what he can do. But now we have the rally, and now we have the Bob to stall, and then we can build the Kitsune, and now this is looking a lot more winnable for me, Abyssal, because of that crucial mistake from Enduro on the Pharah.
Absolutely, here they go with a rotation there, and it is King plucks the bird out of the sky. The pummel here just goes right through the shield, has the pierce now. King, he's looking to re-engage on this. The orbital ray expended there by Chris. Is that enough to turn the tides? Bob, though, has entered the fray, and they just get frag after frag. Abyssal, a hold.
Yes, and a huge hold at that. King was in the backline by himself and killed the pharmacy single-handedly. That was like a Thanos moment. He said, I'll do it myself. And now the ultimate advantage is totally in favor of the Abyssal. I mean, yes, they got rolled, but the good news is they stopped the snowball, and now the momentum is in their favor. If they can keep this tempo up, keep getting the picks, and keep going first, and that's what they're going to look to do here, Philly.
Oh man, looking like a true boxer out there. Haymaker after haymaker. The Kitsune rush and the pummel in combination. Just so good. Now in full retreat are the side of Cuddle Puddle, and the exit kills are there. A well-executed defense for the side of Abyssal. What happened, friend?
Yes, why did he leave Geo? He was by himself. Go kill him. Anyway, I mean, that was a perfect... Now you've got the Ramatra to go in with the slow here, and this is looking very winnable. But a huge pick on Red Death could turn the fight.
Oh my goodness, yes, Geo once again opening up the kill feed, and just PizzaBox being able to take all the space. He can just swing his hammer without a care in the world. I'm waiting for the annihilation to come through, but Chris gets a kunai to the noggin of King first and foremost, so no Deadeye on the board. The pin is good. One hammer could do it. The annihilation has to be expended to stay alive, but the hammer comes down for the side of PizzaBox and knocks the leader of Null Sector to the floor. And at the waiting moments, Cuddle Puddle push it. They get all 3.
Yes. Yeah, they got all 3, and that was really executed from the side of Cuddle Puddle. But a key difference that I want to highlight there is that Cuddle Puddle solo shattered a Ramatra and had no fear about it. And these are the kinds of things that I mean in terms of like tempo. Mott used the Kitsune first on the second to last fight, and they won. They caught him off guard, just like you were talking about. They got him in there very quickly. It was a huge slow, but in terms of that last fight, it's overtime, and I felt that there was no sense of urgency for Zachary. At one point, all 5 were alive, and you were sitting there with the Ramatra. Even if it's a 4v5, your Ashe is down. Like, what is your Ashe going to really hugely contribute to that fight on the Ramatra outside of maybe, hitting some heads or whatever? Like, still go in there, be confident in what you're doing. And, it's obviously his first map in a big match, so there might be some nerves involved, but you really can't afford to sit there and wait. You have to go first. Because since they didn't, it allowed Cuddle Puddle to build ultimates and come back into it.
And so, I teach my students, it's perfection is the enemy of the good. If you're looking for a 5-man shatter each and every time, then you're never going to shatter, and then you waste one of the best abilities in the game, right? And so, yeah, maybe Zachary was waiting for the annihilation as like a recovery moment, right? Because you get the little extra boost in health. But at that point, you were already under duress, and then they were already focus firing you. So if you pop it, your health is just going to get chunked anyway. So you're right. Maybe utilizing that, knowing that they had the alt economy advantage, would have been beneficial for them. So just something to review for the squad. Let's see if they make those adjustments here on attack.
And I like this composition a lot better. It's a lot quicker. You want to go in a lot faster. You have King to deal with any, dive or any, just extra hit scan damage, which is never bad. And we're going to see Zachary look to go first, which I'm really liking. Get the high ground, hold your resources, and, look to make a decision from there.
Absolutely. Zachary taking a ton of damage, though, has to wait to get healed up, but the healing's not coming through as it gives enough time for Anduru to take off the King. That's Ash getting a little bit of revenge against her counterpart from the Deadlock Gang. Still Zachary, we're looking for him to make the move. Like you said, maybe playing a little bit too passively in here. Looks like they're going to disengage for now and regroup.
Yeah, it was a little bit of an error. He dropped off a high ground right as PizzaBot did. And, PizzaBot, ultimately, he's got to look to keep the point contested. He doesn't have to necessarily contest that high ground because they're on defense and you're on attack. So 9 times out of 10, you're going to get this high ground pretty free if you put enough resources into it. Big kill from the side of Andrew onto Mont. But now we're getting into a bit of dangerous territory because Cuddle Puddle is building on ultimates that they can rotate, and we know that they can rotate well. And so if you're Abyssal, you need to pick and you need to make a move soon.
For sure, and this is showing the value of the Ash here on first point. I mean, holding this high ground, you just have free range to shoot fish in a barrel, basically. Finally, after 2 minutes, Abyssal are able to get this high ground, but PizzaBots is just being a nuisance here. He's asking for tips on his delivery, and it will be with damage of long rotation now for the side of Abyssal. The bomb comes through to cut it off. The Kitsune rushes are now crisscrossing. Bean gets caught in the crossfire, however, and taken down by the bomb. That is a big character to be taken off the board. Now they're putting pressure onto King. The Papers of Healing, they're trying to save him, but they cannot. PizzaBot, just too much damage.
Yes, I agree. That was they're gonna stagger her here. Oh, this is bad. This is not
run
nice.
For water, friend. Run, drink.
Run. Oh, they just had to kill her. I would have let her jump in. I mean, anyway, PizzaBot, that was a perfectly placed bomb to disrupt the entire Kitsune. And now we're seeing Mont switch over to the Moria, feeling like the Kitsune is not adding much. And we're going to get a full brawl here on Blizzard World. This was not on my bingo card, but if any team was going to do it, it'd be this one, Philly. And so, but we've got the Bob on the side of Cuddle. We've got the Soldier ult, which we know Geo is lethal with. Still though, you're pretty even in ults if you're me Abyssal. You need to go quick, and that looks like what they want to do. Huge pick.
Oh my gosh, the overclock, it just didn't even happen, just deleted. That's the Deadeye, it's free, gets one with it and takes down Execute as well. They had a sliver of health remaining. Now all the dominoes are falling for the side of Cuddle Puddle. No more defense can be mounted here. Onto the point they go is Abyssal.
Yes, and that was the most unconventional rotation I have seen in my life. Me Abyssal just sped down main with no fear, and maybe these are the kinds of plays that we need to see out of them. Cuddle Puddle's going to try to stagger this?
Whoa, no way. The Bob launched onto the point by Anduru just to stall it a little bit longer, and it forces everybody back. There is no way. Okay, Red Death now raining the bullets from above. Slides, though, into an awkward position, but it's enough for them to cap.
That was looking very winnable on the side of Cuddle. Emmy Abyssal definitely lucked out with that C9. But like I said, maybe we need some more of these aggressive angles and plays on the side of Emmy Abyssal. Maybe we just need to look to send it down main, just shove it down their throats, like make it hard for them to react because their comp wants to sit at a distance and poke and kill you and hit shots. And you can cut that off by running up on them and killing them first. So maybe that's what they need to look to do more here.
I would tend to agree, but some switches coming through. King now back on the tried and true Venture for him. So we'll see what he gets done with that. Something we really haven't talked too much about is the perks, as they will be coming online. And Geo, it's just, there's no time to talk about it, friend, because it's just a pandemonium here against Sune Rush, expended by Chris, just letting the bullets fly, guiding his team to victory, and they win that fight outright.
Yeah, and I know we've been praising Cuddle Puddle's tempo there, but you killed 2 and then used Kitsune. I'm not sure how I feel about that rush, especially because there's a double support ult on the side of Emmy Abyssal now, and Zachary's coming up on that that Ramatra ult, that Annihilation. So we'll have to see how it develops. But Cuddle Puddle, they are coming up on 4 here soon.
Another rotation to the right side using the river. That could be dangerous if you get it booped off the edge. That's you're taking an unexpected swim. Now they're going for a very long rotation, taking all these unconventional pathways. The dive coming through from the side of Pizza Bot. They get stunned out and blown up. The little pilot can't do anything. The bomb, though, expended, does take Bean out again. They just can't seem to dodge the bomb. There is the Kamehameha from Monteneva that opens up the kill feed and some more space created and a fight win for their squad. They can get this cart rolling.
Yes, if you're Cuddle Puddle, that's not the worst fight to lose, especially because no one was pushing the point. It's going to get around the corner by the time Cuddle Puddle is going to get back, and it doesn't look like Emmy Abyssal is setting up for the high ground yet, which could cost them, especially because Cuddle Puddle has the Bob. Okay, now they're going to get on high ground. That's fine. Oh no, King! My goat.
My king. Now he takes a tumble there. And, dude, that Tectonic Shock is going to be totally free. There's nothing to block it. A Resurrection does come through. And now Cuddle Puddle, they're angry about this one. They want to make the other team cry, and they are doing so. Elimination after elimination here. They are trapped in a rock in a hard place. Are the final 2 members. They're going to be looking to get just deleted here, and so they do.
Yeah, and Mott is going to be really staggered over here with the Moria, trying to just live, but you need to die sooner there. It's the last fight. This is still kind of winnable on the side of Emmy Abyssal. You have ults coming up, but Andrew coming through with that Bob here, almost Ajax Bean, and he's going to die here soon.
Yeah, the Bob, sniffs him out and takes him down. It was just a touch from Bean, and he puts the sound barrier only onto themselves. The Annihilation, desperation from the side of the tank, and now everyone's falling as they throw their bodies onto the point. The overtime wick will go down here, and that is where the cart will stay. Cuddle Puddle take map number 2.
I'm going to be completely honest. That was, as a Lucio player, that was a crucial mistake on the side of Bean. You don't have to use sound barrier to touch. If you know that they have the Bob, you have to know they have the Bob. They hadn't used it a single time outside of that one fight. I mean, huge plays by King, by the way. I feel like we haven't talked about him enough. He's been single-handedly carrying these fights on the side of Emmy Abyssal. But still, if you're Bean, you got to, get the touch, step off a point, just get overtime, going, and then your tank can come in and use sound barrier once the Bob comes out. You know what I mean? But again, I feel like Cuddle Puddle has a decent understanding of tempo and how they want to play the comps they want to play. Emmy Abyssal just kind of scrambling for an answer at this point and seem to be a little bit all over the place, Philly.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate, but still, there's more Overwatch to play, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 1-to-3 contest between these 2 squads, and so Runasapi will be our next map. But before we go there, we're going to go to a short break.
Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours.
Welcome back, everyone. HD Philly B and Vert here for you for our Sunday night CGL matchup. It's Diamond Tier, and we have ME Abyssal versus Cuddle Puddle. So far, Cuddle Puddle looking really good in all of these maps, but with their tournament hopes on the line, Abyssal's looking to turn it around here as we head into Runasapi for map number 3.
Yes, and this is going to be a crucial map for the ME Abyssal playoff run, because if they lose this here 3-0, they're going to jump all the way from the 5 seed, I think, to the 6 seed, and Jade Eagles would overtake them here. And not only that, but Cuddle Puddle would jump from the 4 seed to the 3 seed and knock Death Blossoms down to the 4 seed as well. So there are a ton of implications, and this map is going to be very important. And we were talking about it a bit off stream, but I think we're going to see a good amount of brawl here. And I think ME Abyssal's ban here is going to be extremely important because, in my opinion, they are definitely likely to run the Malga, if not banned.
Yeah, and so I think ME Abyssal gets the first ban here, and Malga should be on the chopping block, right? Take the guillotine to him early. It feels like a no-brainer, but they're going to spend some time thinking about it.
And maybe you're thinking, okay, we might not want to ban Malga now. We might want to save it for Suravasa if we get there. But the way I see it, not necessarily your season's on the line, but your seeding is on the line. And your backs are against the wall, and yep, they're going to ban the Malga. I think that's the right choice. You may not get to ban him for Suravasa, but by that point, if you win this map, you get a chance to regroup, think about a new strategy going into Suravasa. As for Cuddle Puddle, for what they're banning, I don't really feel like anything ME Abyssal has tried has been much of a struggle for Cuddle. So if you're not going to run the Malga, you're going to want to run something else. You might look to, get rid of the Ana that Mont has been liking, or maybe even the Juno. And oh wow, map 1 was a bit rough for me, but now I'm rolling. Now I'm here.
I think you're at 4 predictions correct so far in the series. That's pretty dang good, man. But chat, I would like to see your predictions in the chat as well when we have these bans come through. So let me hear you. We do have a couple of substitutions though from either of these squads. This is what I really love, because yeah, you can try to target ban someone, but then you can just sub them out, right? And then you're like, oh, we just kind of wasted that ban. So Zoe now back in for the tank role, and Carr now. I don't think we've seen Carr yet so far this series, so I'll be interested to see what they can do here as they're coming in a little bit cold to this third map.
Yes, this is actually Carr's debut for ME Abyssal, and what an important time to be in. But Carr known for their Lucio play. This is screaming to me right now. If I'm ME Abyssal, we're going to run ball with a Lucio Kiriko, and we're going to go cuckoo bananas down your backline. This is what is screaming to me right now, especially with Zoe coming back in over Zach. Zach looked good on the Diva. He had moments, but, Zoe's been the main tank for the team. But moving over to Cuddle Puddle, we're going to see Brooke back in and Battle Josh back in, and this makes sense to me. Battle Josh, your Lucio player. Brooke, your main dive. Winston, especially with the Malga not viable anymore. We're gonna see that. So I'm very curious to see what we're running here as we get into this map. I'm surprised we. Actually, I was about to say I'm surprised we haven't seen a Genji ban yet, but we literally saw it last map, if I'm not mistaken. So, just with no Malga here, though, I'm curious to see what Cuddle Puddle looks to run.
Yeah, I agree. Will they go for the Junker Queen, or will they go for the Reinhardt? They played the Reinhardt on Blizzard World a little bit, and they looked pretty good at that. So, especially if you have the Lucio, you can kind of zoom them in and out. I would love to see the Zarya. I know she's been kind of a menace in some of my quick play and competitive matches. I'm like plat tier or whatever, but so definitely not the best. But still, I think the Zarya could potentially get us in the spotlight here.
Yeah, I do think Zarya is a bit of an underrated pick. One of the better brawl tanks, in my opinion, but only time will tell. And I'm just curious to see if I get the composition right on the side of Emmy Abyssal because I feel like I'm going to. As for Cuddle Puddle, though, as to what they're going to run is a bit of a mystery to me. You're right. We could see the Zarya. We could see the Junker Queen. I feel like they might still look to run that Brawl just without the Malga. And there's plenty of good Brawl tanks you can run without Malga. Brook just really, really likes his Malga, which makes sense. He was very good at it in map 1. But as we're loading in here, we're going to get to see what they're running very shortly as we go through this library.
Mega giving us the full tour of the futuristic Peruvian city. We do love to see that. Geo immediately hovering over the Genji. And then Zoe on the Junker Queen. We know that that's one of their favorite characters. That's why we brought it up. But Brook going over to the Winston. They're going for full-on dive here for Cuddle Puddle.
Yeah, Cuddle Puddle is a bit of a dive death brawl, with the Moria instead of the Kiriko. I was kind of right about Emmy Abyssal. They're running the Lucio Kiriko, but with the Queen, and we're going to see how this plays out here as we get into this first fight.
Yeah, I think the Queen, sometimes into the Winston, I feel like she could take that fight, but he's going to be looking to press the issue into the backline. Those are the squishy targets he wants to take, but Zoe, with their back turn, gets a knife right into it, and they go down. The rest of the team dismantled after that. The first fight win goes the way of Cuddle Puddle.
Yeah, and Zoe did have the right idea about going straight in, but they did not know that there was a Sombra in play, and so as they went in, they got hacked, virused. For some reason, they looked to peel for their backline when the Winston was jumping on them. There should be no peeling in this composition. With the Lucio Kiriko, y'all should be going together, and you're on Queen. I mean, yeah, you can look to punish Brook if he's, inting and if he's feeding a little bit, but you got to be, somewhat of a 5-man unit, like they're doing right now.
Oh, the commanding shout, and the Suzu used quickly, and they just full send it right into Geo because Brook was trying to assassinate them without them knowing, but it was a little too late now, and it's a dismantling on the other end, and it is Abyssal who will get the cart moving.
And we're going to see Geo match the Tracer here. Why didn't Red Death play Tracer sooner? I mean, that was a phenomenal Tracer play on the side of him. But yeah, literally, they did exactly what I was saying they need to do as I was casting it. They need to look to bait out the engagement from Brook with the dive, and then go in with the commanding shot and Lucio speed and just run it down. Go get the backline, because the backline can't necessarily go with the Winston the way they can with the Queen.
And that's what you were saying the entire series. Press the issue. You go first this time, right? Don't take turns. This isn't a playful game. You got to press the issue. Geo doing just that, switching over to the Tracer, an unsuspecting switch. The hack onto Zoe. Can't get the commanding shout, and it's the boop that finishes them off. It's just trade feed, trade, in every single one of these game engagements, an outright win for Cuddle Puddle. They turn the bot the other way.
Yes, and the trade this next fight is going to be telling, because we've got the support ults and Primal Rage coming up on the side of Cuddle Puddle, whereas Emmy Abyssal is going to be a little bit behind on the support ults, but they have both DPS ults. So we're going to have to see how these trades come through, but Cuddle Puddle is just putting so much pressure on Emmy Abyssal right now.
Brook just also creating so much space, separating really the front and back line. The Kitsune Rush expended here to try to keep some people alive. It's the Deadeye, no shield though available. They're trying to put him under duress, maybe get him out of it. And yeah, he jostles him around just enough where it does not connect. Zoe's able to move their way into the back line though, and hack and slash battle Josh a 2K for the main tank player. Make it 3. Zoe on a rampage.
Zoe on a rampage. Look at that. They have rampage. So this is going to be a very... interesting fight. We're gonna see Brook get off of the Winston and Matt. Oh, late stagger. Good play from the side of Moat. But yeah, we're gonna see Brook match with the Queen ult. But Carr, if you're Carr, you're gonna have to have the beat of your life, because you've got EMP coming up, and Ranasapi is such a hard map to win so many fights in a row. We might just see them try to go first here with the Rampage.
And it does connect onto multiple members, but it's going the other way. How are Abyssal losing folks after that rampage? Zoe left their team in the dust, and into the dust they go. Another fight win goes the way of Cuddle Puddle, and yet the bot turns around once more.
Yes, like I said, this has been very back and forth, but now the ultimates are starting to swing a little bit in the favor of Emmy Abyssal. It's a little bit even, but especially because the EMP came out, so now you get to use beat essentially for free. And in my opinion, there's no need to hold it. They just swapped to the Queen. And back to Josh, what? Excuse me? Question mark?
Okay, yeah, maybe just a little bit of an int there trying to do a little scouting, but you have Anduru for that. There is the carnage coming through for Zoe, takes down their opposite number, and this is just a tug of war. This is what push map was supposed to be. Abyssal wins it. They get the bot now.
Not dissing Push. That is not a diss on Push.
No,
It is
no,
definitely
no,
a diss on Push. It actually is, actually. No, but yeah, that was such a interesting decision on the side of Battle Josh. But what's crucial about that is Emmy Abyssal did not have to use any ults to win that fight. But now it looks like Cuddle want to make up for their mistakes, and I don't know if they're going to be able to.
Oh, the Tracer 1v1 goes the way of Red Death. He spills blood on the ruins of Runasapi. Brook, though, takes a pulse bomb to the chest, and they are exploded. 2 members down for Cuddle Puddle. This will allow the bot, to get to the checkpoint.
And if Zoe stays up here, it's going to be huge. They're going to get the lead here. That was a really good beat on the side of Carr. I would have liked to see it sooner so you potentially have an answer for the Queen ult. That's going to be up soon, definitely before you have it. But like I said, because these fights have been going so much in the favor of Emmy Abyssal, they now have the advantage on the ult side here. So I'm very curious to see how they use it in this fight.
The commanding shout right on to King. He gets the Suzu to keep him alive. The Deadeye comes through and executed by the Deadeye. That was well done. A good coordinated effort from the side of Abyssal. They are going to keep rolling.
And this is what we need to see if you're Emmy Abyssal. We've been talking about it all night. You need to go. You need to stop waiting, and you need to have some confidence in what you're doing. We might see some fights swing a little bit in the favor of Cuddle Puddle with these next engagements because they have an ultimate advantage here. King might get picked out early.
Oh, the Rampage doesn't get booped away, but still it connects onto 3 members, and you can see their health bars just getting eviscerated. The Rampage able to do enough work. Brook coming in clutch.
That was a big boop. It would have been bigger if no one had died, but you know, I like to see Lucio players succeed. Okay, that's just what I like to say. But that was a big Rampage on the side of Brook, catching King out a little bit on the over engagement. But now you've got double support ults, and I can't even commentate. Holy.
Oh my goodness, Brook going extremely low, but now the Rampage on the other end is doing a massive amount. But it forces the beat out, from Battle. Josh connects onto 3. Can they turn the tide here with no tank in play? It looks like the Moira will have to use the Coalescence to keep the team alive. We can do, no, it does the damage and the healing. Geo able to run down his opposite number. The bot doesn't know which way to turn here, Vert.
Yes, and I think this is going to go in the favor of Cuddle Puddle just because they have more engagements here. But I know that's going to go down as a fight loss for Emmy Abyssal, but that's really a fight win because EMP came out, Rampage came out the fight before, both your support ults came out, and all Emmy Abyssal committed was a Queen ult. And now they've got ultimates coming up here, so not only can they match here, but they can, you know, win some fights here and end this map quickly. But Geo, he's got to be big with this pulse bomb here.
He's looking for a special delivery. Oh, he finds it. Oh, takes down the King. Once again, he's got a bounty on his back. That is 1 member down. It's a 4v5 situation. Now, Red Death is looking to get some revenge. They find Carr and Battle. Josh goes. Both the Lucios, the DJ. No one wants to listen to that music anymore. But now Zoe on their lonesome. They just sacrifice themselves, give themselves up. The bot will continue to push here for Cuddle Puddle as they're looking to match the distance.
I think they might match as well as overtake. That was a huge pulse on the side of Geo. You're right. He's had a bounty on King's head all night, maybe trying to take the throne a little bit here. Emmy Abyssal looking to try to press the issue and not give up too much percentage here.
Well, we'll see. I believe I saw the Sombra maybe with the white hack able to heal up Brook there a little bit, so we'll have to check that perk when we can. Red Death into the back line here, and it's King from up top, goes for the rope, and he gets the Deadeye there, takes down the Lucio. Both Lucios exchanged here. Now Red Death getting his opposite number. We've seen that contest time and time again. A big stick onto the tank, but this fight was kind of already done for. I don't know if it was necessarily needed, but still 3 members here. They're just trying to whittle down the clock here, Vert, and if they can get some exit kills, it'll be just a cherry on top.
They just did use Suzu. Carr's going to go down again. If Brook wanted to ult here, he could, but he's going to hold it. And this is somehow going even in more favor of Cuddle Puddle. Like you mentioned, I don't know if that pulse was necessarily needed as the fight was already over. And now we've got 4 ultimates on the side of Cuddle. I do not know how you respond to this with just a minute left.
I don't think you can. Here's the Kitsune Rush. They're going early. The Carnage does come through, but the EMP even better connects onto 5. That allows the Rampage from Brook to do something, but it's Zoe who counters it, but there was only one person to hit off of that. Zoe, the only one remaining member here as well. They get deleted. I think this cart will be able to go all the way home as the team kill banner goes on top of the screen. Cuddle Puddle take this series 3-0.
And that was by far probably the closest map of the series. But I mean, what a dominant showing on the side of Cuddle Puddle, pretty much cementing that we're not just a top 4 team, we're top 3. And I think they wanted to make a statement. They knew the stakes tonight. They heard all the trash talk in Diamond Chat. They knew what was going on, and they didn't talk trash back. They just put their heads down and they 3-0. And I mean, that's the most you can really ask of a team to do, especially this late into the season. But I do think something that map highlights the best, if anything, is that really the story of the series. Abyssal did look a lot quicker and a lot more decisive, but Cuddle Puddle just looked not even mechanically better, not even team better, just better understanding of tempo in their win cons and when they needed to press the issue and when they needed not to. And something interesting that they did, which I don't think a lot of teams in this tier would do, is they had the lead and they still made swaps to their composition, recognizing we don't want to win the short game, we want to win the long game. So we'll take some losses with them having the ults advantage, but we'll come back because we know we're better at the comp ultimately. And that was just a really heads up play from them to switch Brook off the Winston, even though they were winning in cart push.
Yeah, that's a very astute observation, right? Understanding that there is some upfront investment, but that's all future investment, especially on push when it's a 10-minute contest. You can accrue some ultimates in that certain amount of time. But as you said, it's this score line down below that really talks all the trash that you need. We got you in a 3-0 affair. Nothing you can say about that. So well done from Cuddle Puddle. Folks, we're going to have an interview for you. But before we get that, we got to go to a short break so we can set it up. We'll see you on the other side.
Lots of love.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the CGL Season 15 HD Philly B along with Vert. We have a very special guest, and it's Andoru from Cuddle Puddle, one of their DPS extraordinaires, and we have a couple of questions for him. Also, congratulations on the 3-0 victory over Abyssal. Just got to highlight that as well. All right, I will start first. You played 3 maps in this series. Which was your favorite map and why?
My favorite map, probably the Busan one, actually, the first one. I had a lot of fun playing Tracer and diving the backline, I think.
All right, excellent.
Yeah, and I wanna talk about like your compositions and you as a team. Obviously, this is a team that made it to the the mid-season finals. You know, had high expectations, but going into the mid-season playoffs, there wasn't a lot of, you know, expectations for you guys to make any noise. One of the things that I was talking about during the stream was that you guys kind of just put your heads down. You don't really, you know, give in to the trash talk. You kind of just work. So going into the end-of-season playoffs, knowing that there's a little more respect on your name, do you guys prefer being the underdogs where you kind of just put your heads down and keep working? Or do you like having a little bit of threat to your name, like teams want to beat you now going into the playoffs?
Well, that's a very interesting question. I don't know. I mean, I don't really care too much about what our team's place is. I just want to win. Like, I don't care if we're viewed too much as like underdogs. I mean, you know, underdog story is always really exciting, but yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, either way, I'm happy as long as we're winning.
Yes. And honestly, I think that's what I think every team just wants to win at the end of the day, right? So
yeah.
So as for you though, what has this season been like for you guys? I've heard a previous interview where you guys have been for a team for about a year now, right?
Yeah. So so I joined the team a little bit later. I haven't been around for the entire year. I've been around since, I don't remember, December or November or something, late last year. But they've been around even longer before that, the rest of my teammates. I mean, there's a couple guys we picked up later, but sorry, what was your question?
Sorry. I guess I kind of had I kind of had 2 questions in one, which is kind of silly of me. But I just kind of wanted to ask, like, what has the season been like for you guys? You know, being so dominant, like internally, like what are the vibes going into the end of season playoffs, and how are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, throughout the season we've had quite a few ups and downs. I feel like we've had some really bad games. I feel like that were kind of harsh, and it's like, you know, we have emotions. You know, we do, you know, focus despite some of the hardships we have, but we do take those pretty hard sometimes. But yeah, I mean, we're just really focused on winning, so we really want to do well. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give you an easy question, and that is, while we have you on stream, who would you like to shout out?
I'd like to shout out. I'm thinking through. I think Pizza played really well today. Pizza Bot. So I'd really like to shout him out. I think I played especially well this game. I don't usually point to myself on these things. I'm usually humble. I usually don't play that well in most of our games. But I feel like I played pretty well, especially in the Ash on Blizzard World. So I'll shout myself out. No, I'm kidding though. My team has been incredible. Just everybody's been playing really hard tonight and doing really well. So yeah, I guess I'll shout out all of them.
Okay, and in the end, everyone gets a shout out. Well, Andoru, thank you for being on the interview in the hot seat for us. I know there was a little bit of a debate on who should get it. Maybe you'll think twice about going into the interview next time. But it was a pleasure to have you on board here. We'll see more of you in the playoffs in a few weeks. Congratulations on the win.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Okay, folks. Still, it's HC Philly B and Bert. That will be the conclusion of our broadcast here tonight. we move into just an admin break before we go into the Season 15 playoffs, which is one you don't want to miss no matter what level, Diamond tier, Grandmaster tier, whatever tier. It's going to be a banger of a match each and every time here at the CGL. From HD Philly B, Vert, Headrammer, and Mega, we'll see you next time.
See ya.